Hi guys, welcome to Wait a Minute. My videos, my thoughts, and I'm sharing them with you. I have, I've been trying to bring you this video for a few days, but every time I get in the car, I forget what I was going to say, so maybe it's for today. I've been watching people, myself included, and watching how we can be strong for a while, we can be doing really great for a while, and then all of a sudden we're not. And there's, some people get eaten alive when they get out in the world and they start doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, and they're out just wandering, whatever, we as a people we're herd animals. People are meant to be together. People are meant to be a community. But sometimes people get out of the herd for whatever reason. They're ill, they're slow, they're rebellious, they're whatever. But being separated from the herd, that's what we're going to talk about. I've preached this before. I probably won't do it justice today because, first of all, I don't have enough time. Secondly, I don't pretend to be preaching right now. So you notice it a lot when you're in ministry, and maybe you do when you're not, I don't know. And it's not just church, it's not just Christianity, it's community, okay? But you notice a lot when you work with people that community, or the herd, is life. And as long as someone's plugged into community and the herd, reality of that situation is that most often you'll be okay, because you got each other, you got each other to lean on, you got each other to have community with, you got each other to hold you up when you're weak, and if one of you falls, the other one can lift you up, and all that stuff. You got somebody to tell you you're doing something stupid when you're doing something stupid. That's good too. I mean, it's not good to be told you're doing something stupid when you're not doing anything stupid, or necessarily like, hey, you're stupid, quit doing that, man, you retarded. Not even supposed to say that word anymore. But anyway, we're herd animals, herd people, herd creatures, community. Well, I've noticed many times that as soon as someone starts falling out of community, whether it be the church, whether it be friendships, whatever the case is, when they start falling out of the community and start going off on their own, that's when they're vulnerable. Now, they may be okay at first, because you know what, we're grown-ups. We can, I can go on a road trip by myself. I mean, I can go whatever, I can even live my life lonely and all alone. But the longer you do that, that's when you see the danger. That's when the weakness comes. I watched a show on wildebeest about 1,000 years ago when I was in school, and we had to do a report on it. It was a National Geographic show on wildebeest. And now, I never knew what a wildebeest even was, but when I watched that video, I was like, man, if I was a wildebeest, I'd kill myself now. Because basically their whole life is trying not to get killed and eaten. Or there's even this thing that they get that it's a bug that goes in their ear and drives them insane. I really don't want to be a wildebeest. I really don't. But that video, that's exactly what it did. Was it made me know that I don't ever want to be a wildebeest, and not doing it. When I change jobs, I ain't changing to wildebeest. Nope. But we watched this video, and every bad thing except for the bug thing that happened to wildebeest happened because lack of community, like almost across the board. They have, when they get old and sick, they get slow, and when they get slow, the rest of the herd keeps going, and the slow and the sick kind of lag behind because they can't keep up. Well, the rest of the herd, they're also trying to stay alive, and basically they're just like big animal food bags walking, because every animal wants to eat them. And so the slow and the sick get left behind to some extent, and they're like food for every animal that can catch them. And they're very vulnerable, and they get eaten alive, and it's awful. And I always thought, God, nature's so cruel. But so is real life, so is being a human, so is doing what we do, living our life. It can be cruel. But I was just thinking about that whole herd thing, you know. I look around at people that I know that are drug addicts, people I know that are falling into sin, people I know that are falling into mistakes and crazy lifestyles and whatever. It all starts with falling out of community. It all starts with, or trying to fall into community with the wrong community, you know, like the sick herd, the old herd, the herd that's vulnerable. And when you're in that group that's being left behind, you're gonna get eaten alive, and that's not pretty. So I just was, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know, I love people, and I make mistakes, don't get me wrong. I'm totally like, I'm a mess. I could just slap myself sometimes for the dumb things I do. But we need to stay in our herd. We need to stay in our community, because our people that are around us, or the rest of our herd, we can hold each other up. We can keep each other safe. And there's strength in numbers. There's so much that you can be saved from just because you're not away, if that makes any sense, if you know what I'm saying. So I know this isn't the most profound thing I've ever said, but it's just on my mind today, and I was thinking about when I used to preach this message, and don't be, you know, if life hands you, okay, you're a wildebeest, then okay, you might have to spend your whole life running and moving and keeping yourself alive and moving here, moving there, doing this, doing that, and keeping yourself healthy and keeping moving and keeping on your toes. But don't fall behind. If you get sick, this is where the rest of the community and the herd takes over. We're not wildebeest. We're human freaking beings. And when we see somebody that's sick and slowing down, we need to stop and think about it for a second. We need to stop and go over to these people and be like, hey, are you okay? Can I help you? And then actually be there for that person or those people. Because when they're sick and slow, they're vulnerable to get eaten alive. And if you give a crap about people, then you need to start watching. You need to start looking. You need to start noticing. And I'm sure you're going to miss somebody sometimes. We all do. And sometimes you can't help people because they're too sick, they're too far gone for you. They have to do it on their own. But anyway, I said all that to say this. I love you guys very much, and I hope that you are in community. I hope that you are in a herd somewhere safe and sound. And if you're not, hey, my herd can use some more. Bring it on. Our community can grow all the time. I'm good with that. I don't want anything to happen to you guys. I've seen it too often. People get eaten alive with the world and just chewed up and spit out, usually. It's heartbreaking. So, this amazing, beautiful day, Labor Day 2021, I hope that you're in a safe place. I hope that you're being careful. I hope that you're being cautious and having a watchful eye against the enemy. Bless you. God bless you. God keep you. And God heal the sick. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.